Nowadays, this grind culture has become very popular that you got to outwork everyone else, that you got to be 10 times more productive, focus on making a lot of money, work all day, have your schedule filled with stuff. But I think that the more we work and grind and the more our schedule is filled with endless tasks and the more busy it gets, the more important it is to bring rest and play into our lives. Now, if you want to be the best in your field and you really want that, like you actually want that, then of course you have to work a lot. You have to put in a lot of work, and still it's impossible without rest. Now, I'm not hating on work and being productive. I'm not saying that it's bad. It's good. We should work and we should be productive as we can, but they need their counterbalance. They need their counterbalance, resting and playing. As the saying goes, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. And if you don't have this balance, if you put too much weight on working all day long, it will bounce back at you, snap back at you, and it will hurt you physically and mentally. Now, first let's talk about resting, and then we'll talk about playing. Basically, your mind is like a muscle. I think it's actually a muscle, but like any other muscle, it can be strained, it can be overworked, it can be even injured. And you probably know that our physical health is also worn down by overcommitment, not resting, by bad habits. I mean, if you exercise or go to the gym, you probably know just how important resting is. And if your mind is not rested, of course, it's not going to perform as great as it could be performing. And even today, you might face things that will test your patience, or things that will need your clarity, your focus, or things that demand creative breakthroughs. And just imagine how many of these situations you will have in your life. Do you think that you will be able to manage them if your brain is not rested? Or are you going to be able to handle them if you've been abusing and overworking your body? If you've been burning the candle at both ends? Do you really want to make decisions with a mind that is tired? Now, of course, the best way to rest is by sleeping, getting enough quality sleep. And you might have this belief that sleeping is a waste of time, that it is not that important, that it could otherwise be spent more productively, an extra hour of work, that sleep is something for the weak, it's for the weak-minded people, that I can survive on 6 hours of sleep, I don't need 8 hours. I mean, yeah, people can survive on 6 hours of sleep, but I'm sure that most of them are just so used to being tired that they have forgotten what it feels like to be fully rested. And can you realize how crazy that is? Being so used to being sleep deprived and tired that you have forgotten what it is like, what it feels like to be fully rested. And that might be you. And to be honest, this belief that sleep is not that important, that you don't need that much sleep, that's just complete bullshit. I mean, if you believe that, you're contradicting the whole science of sleeping. Like every single study today shows just how important sleep is for us. And if you don't believe that, I mean, then go and sleep 6 hours, I mean, to be honest. And being sleep deprived, not getting enough sleep, is like being drunk. Like really, going without sleep is like being drunk. This has been also shown by studies. So do you really want to make important decisions in your life while being drunk? Do you want to work like that? Interact with people like that? Lose your temper and say something mean to your loved ones that you didn't really mean like that. And you'll regret that for the rest of your life, and they'll remember that. And do that just because you were sleep deprived. Just because you didn't sleep enough last night. No matter how much self-control you have, when you're sleep deprived, like that ability to control yourself and not lose your temper, that goes down by like 40%. You become way more irritable. Sleep is not a luxury, it's a priority. And if you stay up an extra hour to work, that does not equal 1 extra hour of productivity, no. Because the next day you'll be sleep deprived. So that equals several hours of low quality productivity because you're sleep deprived the next day. Like, for example, if you stay up an extra hour to study, that does not mean that you got an extra hour. No, because first, you won't remember it that much because remembering and getting that memory goes on while you're sleeping. Like, remembering is a process that happens while you're sleeping. So you won't remember it that much, and also you'll be sleep deprived the next day, and you won't be able to study that much. Or if the test is tomorrow, then you'll be sleep deprived at the test, and your head will be foggy. Like, do you really want to write a test like that? If you don't sleep enough, everything in your life becomes worse. It's awful for your health. I mean, you probably know this by experience. I mean, for me, when I don't sleep enough, it just feels awful. I feel awful throughout the whole day. I feel groggy and tired. It's really bad. But when I'm rested, I'm much more like clear. Like, I have much more clarity and focus and awareness. I feel so much better. It makes such a difference. Like, I can't stress this enough. So that's about sleep. Like, really, take your sleep seriously. It's truly very important. Now, another thing about resting is that what are you doing to rest, really? Is playing video games and scrolling, is that resting for you? That's not resting. Like, if we were to put like a brain scanner or whatever that is on your brain while you're playing video games, like, it would be a firework inside of your brain. You're not actually resting while you're scrolling, filling your head with all that information, light, sound, everything. That is not resting. Your brain is not being rested at that time. It's firing up, its signals going everywhere. Just imagine like playing video games, all that stress you're under, that pressure to perform, that lights going on, that guy randomly popping out shooting at you. Like, your brain is not resting while it's doing that. So do something that is actually resting. Like, lay down, go for a walk, read something, whatever. Okay, now let's talk about play. Now, what is play? What is playing? Well, how I see it is that play is anything that you do just for the joy of doing it. Not to get something out of it, not for a means to an end, just to do it. It's like dancing, it's like music. You don't listen to music to get something out of it. You listen to music just to listen to music. Or just kicking a ball for no reason. Flying a kite. Now, can you remember back to the time when you were a child? Like, we were never taught how to play. It just came to us naturally. It's natural to us. It's also natural to other animals. Like, animals also play a lot. And it just brings us so much joy as when we were a child. Like, when our mother played peekaboo with us, and we're just laughing with pure joy, or when we were with our friends and we just unleashed our imagination and played some make-believe game. When we were playing as a child, we were in a flow state, and playing does get you into that flow state. Flow state is like one of the best states that you can be in. It's like when you're not thinking, you get out of your thinking mind and you're just there, fully absorbed by the play. And I remember like the shit that I used to play. Like, I remember in I think it was 2nd grade in school, we used to go down with our classmates and in the school outside, and we had this like sandy place where there was a bunch of sand. We used to believe that we were like anthropologists or whatever they are, the guys who search for old stuff and things like that. And we used to like search for like zombies and vampires and mummies. Like, we actually like became scared when we found something. We thought that was like a mummy skeleton or something. Like, it was so much fun. Like, I still have this memory of it. Like, it was everything to me. Like, I had so much fun while doing that. But the problem is that we have lost this ability. But we can get it back. But the thing is that as we grow up, we are told that play is childish, it's trivial, it's unnecessary. And I think that play is, those guys who say these negative things about play, they should actually play the most. You might think that play is, it's unimportant, but I think that it's truly important. I think that it is. Like, Everyone needs some nonsense once in a while. Like, as this guy, Roald Dahl, or however you spell his name, said, a little nonsense now and then is cherished by the wisest man. But also, it has been shown in studies by Stuart Brown that play significantly improves a lot of things in our life. Like, it improves our relationships, our personal health, our education, our innovation. It leads to brain plasticity and creativity. And brain plasticity is like our brain's ability to grow and to learn new stuff and to change. And also, it is just an antidote to stress. And also, play just helps us to explore, to get out of our thinking mind. Now, to be clear, even though I just mentioned to you all of these benefits of playing, that was just to convince you. If you play to get those benefits, you're not playing. Because, as we said, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. But if Jack is playing only so that later he can work better, he's not really playing. Like, if he's playing because it's good for him, or to get something out of it, he's not playing because he's got his eye on the future. And playing is about doing something just for the sake of it. Can you just do something for the sake of doing it? Can you do something just because you enjoy doing it? Just to play, to dance for no reason, to sing just because you feel like it, to pick up a pebble and just look at it and just enjoy that pebble. Not think about what you can do with this pebble, how much it is worth, maybe this is a precious gem. No, just pick that pebble up and just enjoy that pebble. Now, if you don't know what you should do while playing, I really suggest you to look back at your childhood. Like, these two questions can help. Like, what did you do as a child that excited you? And how can you recreate that today? Because most of the time, what we enjoyed as a child, we will probably enjoy that as adults also. For example, me and my brother, we really like to wrestle. And just recently, like, we went out to the snow, it was snowing, it was great. And we had like this great snowball fight, we were wrestling and we had so much fun, it was really good. So you can look back at your childhood. So as a quick summary, rest and play is super important. Yes, you should work. Yes, you should be disciplined and be productive. But don't forget to rest. It's just as important. Keep that balance. Don't push over too much on one side. It will snap back at you. Remember to play. Remember to rest and to sleep enough. So thank you for being here. If you're interested, I'm doing free one-on-one calls. You can send me an email and we will arrange a call and you can ask me any question that you want. Just video chat call. So thank you for being here. Thank you for your presence. All the love towards you. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Have a great day and goodbye.